Hey everyone, I want to do a quick little video why I've got this in my mind, and also too because I don't know how long these other devices are going to be available, the one I'm about to show you. So I've got the FiiO M11 here, not the Pro, just the original one, and this is my de facto DAP now. I love this thing, and in the past I've had or really enjoyed my previous DAPs, which were Astell Kern. I had an AK300, and then I moved up to an AK380. I'd bought the AK380 used, so I got a pretty good price on it. I think I paid like $1,500 for it or something. But I saw a couple reviews in the M11. I thought, could it really be that good, you know? And I thought, what the heck, I'm going to try it out. So I bought this thing, and it was better than my AK380, which blew me away when I got to look, listen to it and look at the quality of the build and everything. But really the sound quality just amazed me. So this is now my player. This is what I use for everything. And I love it. Now the thing about it, the only thing about it is that, it's a big player, and it's this out, like if I if I went out someplace and, wore a sweat jacket like I do a lot, or even a light jacket because I live in California and it doesn't get very cold here, this thing really weighs down in my pocket. And sometimes I work at home and I work out at different customer sites, and sometimes, I pull out my Samsung Galaxy Note 10, which is huge, and then I pull this out and it's like, what the heck, this thing's thicker and heavier than the Note 10. So I wanted something light that I could carry with me. And I do really enjoy the Astell Kern sound. They definitely have their own tuning and their own sound signature. And I really enjoy that. But again, I didn't want this big device, and I wasn't going to spend that kind of money. Not after I paid, less than $500 for this, and the sound quality was superior. So I learned my lesson about, some people say you get what you pay for. I say bullshit. I say there's lots of products that are super high quality that are not expensive. They're just as high quality as items 3 times as much, because there's a thing called sales, right? And I've been in technical sales off and on most of my life, and I can tell you that we could sell a product to one customer for, just as a number, $10,000. We could sell the same product with a different package on the outside, but internals are the same, for $50,000 to an even different customer. So getting what you pay for isn't always, or you get what you pay for is not always a correct statement. So that said, this, for me, 100% worth the price. Sound quality better than my Astell Kern AK300 and AK380. I don't have experience with the higher end Astell Kern line, so I can't speak to those. But to those two, this sounds better. So where am I going with this? I wanted a smaller, lighter player. Let me take this out so it doesn't get in the way. That I could use on the go, like when I'm out at customers, and I don't want, some big heavy thing out in the desk or in my pocket, or just out walking around or whatever. Sometimes I go bike riding and I like to take something light, and small with me. So I found this. This is, let me see if I can get you to focus here. This is the Astell Kern AK Junior. One 3.5 on-off switch, sleep mode switch, volume control, really nice feeling, knurled, clicky. SD card slot if you want to add an SD card to it. The very simple, nice back design. I actually have a screen protector on here and on here that came with it when I bought it. It came in a really nice little box. Now I will say, it said gold. I got it on eBay and it said gold, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get a gold one. Actually, what I got was pink gold, or what they call rose gold. So I have since really come to like the look of this thing, and I really enjoy it. It's very clean. It's like machined aluminum. I mean, this thing's beautiful. My wife saw it sitting out on the desk, and she's like, "Hey, what's that? Did you get a new phone?" And I'm like, "No, it's a little player I picked up." And she's like, "You didn't get me one?" I mean, she got kind of upset because this thing's beautiful, right? It looks like jewelry almost. So that's well and good. It looks great. How does it sound? Well, I will say it wasn't as clear as my AK380. It didn't have that black background, that dark background that you can't hear anything, that's very quiet, dead silent. It didn't really have that. It doesn't have the same power, of course, but it does have quite a bit of power. I'm able to drive all of my IEMs with this without any problem. It doesn't have the same separation and detail to the music as, let's say, the other AKs, or even as my FiiO. But you know what? I didn't want, or I wasn't looking for something that sounded exactly like this. I wanted something that sounded good and that was light and small, had good battery life, and that I could carry, right? It has 64 gigs of RAM built into it, and I could add an SD card with another, say, 250 gigs if I wanted. I don't need to do that. I mean, I only keep the music I really like on it because I don't use it that often, but I do use it to take places with me. The thing about it is I got this thing for 150 bucks. And that was the big deal for me. I was looking for something that was inexpensive. I didn't want to spend, another $1,000, $500, whatever. I just wanted a slim little player. And, the phones nowadays, they only have these, like USB-C style, and then the Apple has the Lightning. And it works okay, but you got to use their DAC to get out. And it just doesn't, I don't know, I don't like it myself. It's okay, it's just not great. I'm so used to the FiiO now that I don't like listening to music, honestly, if I'm not listening to it on something that's like decent quality. That might sound elitist, but I guess it's what happens when you get trained on something, right? Anyway, so this device, it only has 3.5, so there's no balanced. So I've used balanced cables on a lot of my IEMs, so I do have a little connector, a little 3.5 inch adapter that I use, and I kind of like this actually because it's flexible, so something happens to this, I just replace it. This thing was very cheap. I can't remember what I paid for it. I got it on Amazon. I'll look for a link for it and put it into this video. But here's the main reason for this video is that I found this small light player, this AK Junior, and Astell Kern Jr. and 64 gigs of RAM. It'll play for like, I've never had it go dead on me, but I think I've had it on standby for like a week at a time type thing, right? I don't know how long actually, maybe for about a week or so. I've had this now for about 3 months, and I've been listening to a lot. The battery life is really good. I can play like 4 or 5 hours. I don't have any issues with that. All my IEMs sound good on this thing. I use the blonde with it a lot. The blonde sounds really good with this. But for 150 bucks, right? Now you're saying, okay, well, 150. This thing came out. It was brand new. It was like 400 bucks. It was like 480 bucks, I think. So this was a very expensive player when it came out. I would never pay $400 for this player. Let's clear that up now. There's no way this thing's worth 400 bucks. But for 150, heck yeah, it's worth 150 bucks. It sounds good. It looks good. It's so tiny. I mean, look at it next to the FiiO, and look at how much thinner it is than the FiiO, if you can see that, right? I mean, it is like tiny. And dark voice here, which is, I like tube amps, and I like playing around with audio. So, and I've got my FiiO Audio Phantoms, which are my new favorite headphone. And I was playing around with some different stuff, and so I hooked up this RCA cable that I got from Amazon. I think it was an Amazon Basics cable. Hooked it up to this thing, and I tried it with the FiiO, and man, it sounded so good. It sounded really good. But then I thought, let me try it with this little, Astell Kern AK Junior here, and I was stunned by the quality of the sound. So that thing with the FiiO audio, let me turn this thing on real quick, let it power up. The interface is really good on this. It's really simple. Don't expect anything fancy from it. It doesn't have the kind of interface that the FiiO has. It's very straightforward. but it works fine for me. It starts up pretty quick. You can see how long it's taken there to start up. Boom, it's on now. And then if I go to, say, albums, I like to look at my albums, and it's kind of small. I haven't even played to see if I can adjust that, to be honest with you. It works fine for me, but let's say if we go to this one. So you need to go, if you get this player really quickly, what you need to do is go to your settings and say line out and turn that on so that this becomes line out, right? Once you do that, go back home, albums, here. I don't know if you can hear that or not. Probably. That's out of the headphones. But I don't want to get tagged on that. Works great. This combination was ridiculous. It sounded so good. I couldn't believe it. The detail, the separation, everything was so good. Not like the FiiO, but you know, I wasn't expecting that. But more than sufficient. And it really made me happy listening to it. I mean, I closed my eyes and I was kind of forgetting about everything else. It really sounded good. And with my blonde threes, right, which I did a video on those. Here they are. And I have to use the adapter because I have a balance cable on this for when I'm using the FiiO. But on here, same thing, sounds great. No problems. I really enjoy listening to it. I've got a pair of AudioSense T800s, which I also this is my new favorite headphone, IEM right here, my AudioSense T800s. I'm going to do a video on these probably. These sound great on here too. Not as good as the Blondes, honestly. I think the Blondes, that dynamic driver, is better driven with this. And for something like this, the AudioSense T800, to really get the full feature of the nose drivers in here and the way that it's designed, you need something like the FiiO for it. But really, this video is about this player, this AK Junior. It's not in production anymore, so I'm not like gonna put a link there for you guys. You know, I'll tell you what, I'll go out to eBay and I'll find it out there. The seller that I bought it from had like 50 of these things or something. And I was even worried that it might be a scam, right? Because I've bought fake items on eBay before. But I got it. I confirmed the serial number with the Astell Kern. It is an actual Astell Kern player, and it sounds great. 150 bucks, tiny, light, long battery life, good off of the computer. It doesn't come with a charger. It comes with a charging cable, just a USB cable. Yeah, really happy with this. I just thought you guys might want to know if you're looking for a lightweight player, a tiny little player out there. This is a really good one. Anyway, talk to you later.